we are navigating well. बस कुछ hiccups है. Bihar is in a state of transition. Some kind of flux is there. And you can look at it in different ways. One is of course a generation shift. We used to talk about Lalu, Nitish, Ramvilas, and let's say maybe Sushil Modi, the top four leaders who. And now Ramvilas and Sushil Modi are not there, and as you say, Lalu ji and Nitish Kumar, they are probably sunset of their political career. Right. So there is a new generation coming up in every party. In a state like Bihar, why should education and healthcare be left to the private players? The common principle is that the leader of the largest party would be the chief ministerial face.
सीधे शुरुआत करते हैं इलेक्शन प्रश्न से. अभी जो चल रहा था कि महागठबंधन में क्या हो क्या रहा था, क्यों हमारी लिस्ट नहीं आई, ओवरलैपिंग हम क्यों देख रहे हैं, कुछ सीटों पर कांग्रेस और राजद दोनों ने अपने प्रत्याशी खड़े किए हैं. तो हाउ इट इज शेपिंग, महागठबंधन शेप कैसे ले रहा है?
शेप तो देखिए, एक तो इस बार बड़ा गठबंधन है पिछली बार से. बीआईपी एक नई पार्टी है, आईआईपी एक नई पार्टी है. Obviously, when you have such a big coalition, there will be some rules and pressures. I think we are navigating well. We are navigating well.
Okay.
बस कुछ hiccups है. Once we are through this nomination phase, campaign will start.
But doesn't
मुझे जो लगता है ना कि main जो factor है, main factor है the situation on the ground. So often we look at the situation on top, leaders, parties, but it is the situation on the ground where people are looking for change.
Okay.
So I think Mahagathbandhan is just a vehicle for the people to express their political preference and to realize their need for change. उस हिसाब से मुझे लगता है ठीक है. There is correspondence between the ground level reality and people's aspirations. And if I compare with 2020, 2020 it was a last minute seat sharing agreement, nothing more than that. Yes, in 2020, for example, we had absolutely no discussion with the Congress. Just we had seat sharing negotiation with the RJD. But this time round, you have a coalition in place. There have been joint political campaigns, there are subcommittees, there are coordination committee. So I think by Bihar standards, you will never probably have before seen such a structured coalition. It may not be ideal, there may be still many gaps, but as far as I can see, this is a very structured kind of coalition.
But we didn't give a good message, because even the Congress President Rajesh Ramar also launched a failed attack on RJD. There had been so much internal beginnings, nothing was coming out of the, what was happening, we didn't know, even in the last moment, we didn't know where is the candidate. We were just getting the list of candidates from circulating elsewhere. So, how do you react to all this?
No, ठीक है. मैंने वो तो even if within a party, for example, Ritu Jaiswal, she says she has been denied a ticket and she is contesting independently. So even within parties, you have some problems.
Okay.
And in a big state like Bihar, it's quite. And when you have a 6-party, 7-party kind of coalition, so it's natural that there will be some problems. But I think that is not the main thing. The main thing is that this time you have a coalition which has taken shape over a period, which exists on the ground and corresponds to the people's desire for unity and change.
Are you happy with your number?
To be honest, I cannot be happy with 20. We decided that rather than getting bogged down in this seat sharing kind of arguments and some friendly fight, let's move on. So we chose to settle for 20 and move on.
You have settled with 20.
Yes.
That is the final list.
That is the final list, and there are no friendly fights involved. So there is complete unity on the ground.
Have you retained all your candidates?
Not really. 18 of these 20 seats are from our previous list.
From the sitting
Sitting MLAs have all been retained.
All 12.
Sitting, not 12, actually we are left with 11. We lost 13 Tarari in the by-election.
Yes, yes.
So we have retained all the existing MLAs and 11.
11, yes.
And of the remaining 9, we have some new candidates. In Tarari, we have Madan Chandravamshi. So he's a new candidate. Digha, Divya Gautam, Shashija contested last time. She's an MLC now.
Tell me something about your new candidates. Who are they?
Right. So new candidates, you have Divya Gautam in Digha. So Divya for Digha. That's the campaign. Right. Then we have Dhananjay, who was JNU's president last time. In fact, we wanted him to contest from Barachatti.
Okay.
Last 6 months, he was working hard in Barachatti. He comes from Gaya district only. But it so happened that our candidate from Bore, Jitendra Paswan, so just immediately, he had lost by a very narrow margin of 400 odd votes in the 2020 elections. And since then, he has been a target. So he was immediately implicated in a false case.
Okay.
And now he runs the risk of being convicted, even in the middle of election campaign. And he was detained after not filing nomination. So we had to have second parts.
Okay.
So we changed the candidate at the last moment and fielded Dhananjay from Pune. I think he has already started campaigning, a very energetic campaign. He's quite a popular young leader. So the youth of
So one from Patna is
Patna new, Tarari is a new candidate.
Okay.
Pure is a new candidate.
Who is the Tarari candidate?
Madan Chandravamshi. He was a Sahar block pramukh at some stage.
Okay.
And other new candidate is also a new seat, which is Pipra in Supal.
Okay.
So they are Anil Kumar.
Hmm.
He's also a very interesting candidate because he is an agriculture science graduate.
Acha.
And his professional life, he has been working as what you call SMS, Special Matter Supervisor, Nitish Kumar's agriculture roadmap. Right?
Okay.
So he's a person who knows the area thoroughly and who is very, very familiar with the problems of.
He had been based only in Bihar.
He now resigned from his job. Since the Delhi farmers movement, so he has been basically transforming himself into a farmers leader.
Was he working with the Bihar government?
Bihar government, and for some time initially I think central government too.
Okay.
As agricultural farm manager. And another new candidate, new seat is Rajgir, where we have retired.
Rajiv from which constituency?
Rajgir is Nalanda. Rajgir.
Candidate name?
Candidate is Vishwanath Chaudhary.
Okay.
So we used to have an organization called Bihar Harijan Adivasi Student Union in the 80s, BHASU. So he was a leader of the BHASU in the 1980s. Then he got into his job as an engineer, retired chief engineer. So and he's contesting from there.
Okay. Now the bigger question. What is the poll narrative for last 20 years? We have been hearing about clash between Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad. Basically, it was bipolar, more or less. So, where do you see 2025? We have seen are we looking at the end of the barrel? Because I'm talking in terms of because Lalu Prasad is in electoral politics, it could be the last election of Nitish Kumar. In terms of the icon and personality politics, how do you see this?
No, obviously Bihar is in a state of transition. Some kind of flux is there. And you can look at it in different ways. One is, of course, a generation shift. So, we used to talk about Lalu, Nitish, Ramvilas, and let's say maybe Sushil Modi, the top 4 leaders who.
Yes.
And now Ramvilas and Sushil Modi are not there, and as you say, Laluji and Nitish Kumar, they are probably sunset of their political career, twilight. So there is a new generation coming up in every party. In every party. So there is a generation shift. The other thing which is happening is, if you to talk about the dominant narrative of Bihar. So when Lalu came in 1990, the narrative was, let's say, power to the poor. Garib ka Samman.
Hmm.
And obviously that and social justice as well as secularism. He stopped Yatra. RJD is one party which has never really had any truck with the BJP. It's quite a rare party that way. Well, most other parties have done business with the BJP. So that was the dominant narrative. And now when Nitish Kumar came in 2005, that was like a breath of fresh air then. And he was talking about development with justice, good governance. And definitely people gave him, I think, abundant opportunities. Election after election. So now 20 years is quite a long period of time. So now people can critically look back. So what did you gain in terms of development? What did you really gain in terms of good governance? So when you do that, you find that the development, as I call it, the flyover bypass model of development.
Flyover bypass model.
Flyover bypass model of development. You have fancy flyovers in Patna.
Some say he had created an island of development.
Yeah, but the island is basically, so flyover, once you just from the flyover, when you get down, and even in Patna, just the other roads of Patna, forget about the fancy flyovers and the Marine Drive. You find Patna, even which is supposedly a smart city, it's absolute squalor, even in Patna. And when you go to a district town and then further down to Panchayat areas, you'll find the rural roads, they're in a very bad shape. So the whole narrative, development, something. So basically it's some kind of spectacle they have tried to create where there has been no employment, no focus on employment, no focus on improving the level of living of the poor. I mean, the government's own survey tells you that 94.5 lakh families and their total monthly income is less than 6,000.
By their own report.
By their own report, so absolute that kind of chronic poverty, unemployment, and migration. You have basically people do have some kind of what we call popularly rozgar, but that is very insecure employment. No job security, and the wages are very low. And I see there is an unwritten kind of consensus in India that Bihar is the labor export zone. Historically, Bihar has been the labor export zone. So if wage level should not rise in Bihar, because if wage level rises in Bihar, then you won't have this supply of cheap labor across India. So to keep wages depressed across India, so it is important that Bihar remains a labor export zone, abundant supply of cheap labor. And Nitish Kumar has been the manager of that labor export zone in all these 20 years of the year.
But he had been also alive for some time.
Obviously, I mean, he has that's a different thing. But I'm saying, talking of the development, what we have seen, then good governance. Nitish Kumar used to see that I will never make any compromise with 3 C's: crime, corruption, communalism. And I keep saying that not only has he compromised with the 3 C's, he has basically served a cocktail of the 3 C's.
Served a cocktail?
Yes, served a cocktail of the 3 C's. Communalism, corruption and crime. So this is what has happened. This is what has happened in Bihar. So this is why people now feel that enough is enough. They have been taken for a ride. There is a sense of betrayal, sense of having been completely let down. So this is why this election is about change. This election is about change, and I think Bihar indicated it in 2020 itself. Look back at 2020 election. 2019 was completely swept by NDA, 39-1. That was a very difficult Corona period, lockdown. Bihar was the first state to have an election. So at a time when the BJP and the NDA, Nitish Kumar, they all thought that there was not even an opposition worth the name in Bihar. Bihar nearly had replaced the government. Just a few seats, and maybe the total difference in votes was around 12%.
Yes.
So Bihar, I think, समझदारों के लिए इशारा काफी होता है. So Bihar had already given enough indication that Nitish Kumar had, he was on notice. We had served him notice. And last 5 years, of course, he did, once again came this side and then went back this side. But for his acrobatics and but for his political
That brings me to the
skills.
question. That brings me to the question of doles offered by sundry doles offered by him. I think the list is long, but the outstanding is 125 megawatt of electricity and 10,000 rupees transferred to 1.21 crore women. Just people call it that he wants to just consolidate his or at least retain the caste neutral women constituency. So how do you see the politics of those? Does it show the fatigue of 4 times? He wants to retain those votes.
Obviously, he wants to retain. That's why he is desperate. Because Nitish Kumar has time and again, when we demanded 200 units of the electricity, like in Bihar, like in Delhi, like in Punjab, like in Jharkhand, he repeatedly said that we will never give free electricity.
Oh, yes.
And then suddenly that same Nitish Kumar, he agrees and says 125 units of free electricity. And this 10,000 rupees, what is this 10,000 rupees? Basically, he had promised 2 lakh rupees to 94.5 lakh families. He didn't deliver. Now he is giving this 10,000 and people think that this is some kind of a grant. And Amit Shah has made it clear, this is not grant. This is a seed money for a potentially larger loan. So basically Bihar, the poor of Bihar, the women of Bihar, they are surviving on loans. So the biggest issue is actually loan. And the most popular demand is loan waiver. Microfinance, the coercive loan recovery campaign unleashed by the microfinance company. There are already very disturbing reports of suicide. Suicide and people fleeing, their villages. That's a new kind of migration. This is like absconding. This is not people going to other state or other district in search of some better employment or better wages. This is just to save themselves, their dignity, their life from this coercive microfinance kind of terror. People are just fleeing for safety. Now, that's why the popular slogan, I hear that in a lot of places, women are taking out marches, they are saying, 10,000 mein dam nahi, कर्ज मुक्ति से कम नहीं.
10,000 में दम नहीं?
कर्ज माफी से कम नहीं.
अच्छा.
So that's the issue. So what is this 10,000? If 10,000 you give, people won't be able to even spend this 10,000. All these microfinance company agents, they are already there running after this money. So pit it against our offer, stable 2,500 rupees monthly assistance to all women between 19 and 60 years. So that means 30,000 rupees. This is 10,000 one time. 10,000 one time, election time, that's over. Chunav khatam and khel paisa hajam. Khel khatam. And here you have some scheme where 30,000 per year, 5 years, 1,50,000. So I think that will at least add to some, enhance their purchasing power, enhance their earning. All those families which are below 6,000, so at least if you have 2,500, that makes sense. Likewise, pension, 400, he suddenly made it 1,100. And we have promised that our pension will be
1,500.
1,500, and then there will be annual increment of 200 years.
Okay.
So every year annually. So it will go up to 2,500 over a period of 5 years.
But that also brings me to the question of almost 5 crore jobs promised by Tejashwi, the leader of your camp. How do you see? Is it practical to give it? Do you have jobs? Do we need it so many
I think
jobs in the
we'll
government?
have to see, probably what he has in mind is the government, whatever work is undertaken by the government. So if you recognize that, the people who are already involved in this kind of construction work in various ways, so if you recognize them as government workers, then obviously it is possible. The other thing is, for me, in Bihar, you cannot think of, let's say, there can be no Bokaro in Bihar. There can be no Dhanbad in Bihar. But Bihar can definitely have agro-based industries. Dalmia Nagar did not just languish in this kind of shape. You can have a railway factory there.
Yeah.
And in a state like Bihar, why should education and healthcare be left to the private players? Why shouldn't the state make its primary responsibility to ensure universal quality education and universal healthcare?
Did he
Once we do these, there will be huge expansion of the service sector. Education, health, and let's say other public services that the people, amenities. Education, health, and amenities. Rural and civic, urban civic amenities. If you expect the government to take the lead, I think there are definitely prospect for jobs. I have not seen his actual whatever.
Yes, that is what I want to ask.
I haven't seen
Has
that.
he taken the LI into confidence?
But I think the not in terms of a blueprint, but definitely they have been working on this and jobs. Definitely Bihar is looking for jobs.
So do we expect a common manifesto?
I think so. Definitely we have been working on a common manifesto and it is more or less ready. We're just finishing touches to it.
Congress has been tightening on declaring Tejashwi as the leader of Mahagathbandhan. That is chief ministerial phase. What is the stand of your party?
No, I think he's already the convener of the coordination committee. He's a leader of opposition. Okay. He served as deputy chief minister in two different governments twice. Right?
Is he your CM candidate?
Obviously made it clear because once you have a pre-poll alliance, so the common principle is that the leader of the largest party would be the chief ministerial face. So RJD being the largest party of the pre-poll alliance.
There has not been consensus in the alliance.
No, I don't think. I think they were waiting for a formal declaration, maybe along with seat sharing and everything. They thought it would be a package deal. So maybe that may be the understanding, but it is very clear. There is no doubt about it. I keep saying two things. One is, even if there is no formal announcement regarding Tejashwi Yadav, everybody knows that with India gaining majority, it is Tejashwi Yadav who is going to be the chief minister.
Okay.
And even if the NDA, now of course they have made it clear that Nitish Kumar is not their chief ministerial. They are maybe just using him as the face till the election. Now Amit Shah has made it clear in so many words that after the election they will take a look at the post-poll situation. Parties will sit together and elect. So Nitish Kumar is not the chief ministerial candidate for NDA, even if they say formally. And Tejashwi Yadav is the candidate, even if there is no formal announcement. So and there is absolutely no confusion on either score in Bihar. People sort of wise enough to understand this.
I want to ask a different question. We just talked about Lalu Prasad, you talked about the top four. Two of them are no more. Who are the top 3 or 4 second generation leaders apart from Tejashwi? Tejashwi, of course, one. Who are the other 3 across the camp?
No, you can see there are a lot of new faces. I won't rank them.
No, I'm not talking about.
For example, I mean, obviously now, Lok Jan Shakti, there is, you can see Chirag Paswan.
Okay.
Even Prashant, Kishor, he is trying to create some kind of people expected him to come up with a new agenda, new kind of politics. Unfortunately, he promised a lot, and already I see it unraveling. The whole Suraaj kind of project. But anyway, he is definitely trying to curve a new niche for himself.
Tejashwi, Chirag, Prashant, Kishor.
These are all new faces, obviously.
Any from BJP?
I don't see anybody really from BJP, and even in our party. So I think they will not be seen as that kind of Sandeep Saurabh or Dhananjay, Divya Gautam. They're all new faces, brand new faces for Bihar politics. And this is the kind of new generation that we need in Bihar.
Now we started discussing Prashant Kishor. So how do you decipher the PK factor? We have been talking, social media has gone gung-ho with this. Every second and third person leads to Prashant Kishor. There was so much buzz. But when you go to the ground, somehow we do not see it matching. Why is there a gap?
No, see, when Kishor first he joined JDU,
Yes.
he explored his political prospects there, and then he left JDU. And now he said that he wants to have his own political party. Fair enough. Okay, he has been managing other elections for other parties. Now he is doing this. But a few things which I always found a little, what should I say? I mean, not very credible. His is a party, a very resource-rich party.
Resource-based.
Resource-rich.
The resource rich. Okay.
So I kept saying that Bihar is a labor exporting. Bihar politics should be labor intensive, whereas his project is capital intensive. So just as a big ticket investment announcement, this many crore of investment, that doesn't do anything for Bihar. So likewise, I think that kind of a very capital intensive project, corporate style political organization, it doesn't really match the political, socio-political reality of Bihar. It's number one.
Yes.
Number one discord that I see. Second point is he, from the very beginning, kept saying, no Andolan. Andolan se kuch nahi hota hai. And that again surprised me. Andolan se hi to sab kuch hua. Our freedom is a product of a very protracted movement. The constitution came out of that. Whatever rights the people of India have got in real life, everything has come through very protracted people's struggles. So here is a leader coming in Bihar who uses Gandhi's photograph, and now he has also added Ambedkar's photograph. So these are all iconic leaders of various movements, protracted struggles. And here is a man, he's saying that Andolan se kuch nahi hota hai, kuch projects se hota hai, ideas and innovation se hota hai. I found that again very disturbing. And it is almost sounded like Modi saying Andolan GB. So
Andolan GB.
Modi used that word.
Yes.
For me, that is the most sinister word used by Narendra Modi.
Okay.
It's not even urban Naxal. Andolan GB. So once you demonize struggles in a democracy, and people who are activists, leaders of struggle, if you just lampoon them as Andolan GB, that contempt for struggle.
Okay.
I think that is very, very anti-democratic, very, very undemocratic thing, contempt for struggle. So these are a few things which from the very beginning, I found it a bit disturbing about Prashant.
Okay.
But then, of course, I will still wait for his whole policy paradigm. He talks about, let's say, stopping migration from Bihar. How exactly does he propose to do that? His people are distributing some ATM cards, 20,000 rupees of some assured income. There I find even loan. He's saying we will give loans at 4% interest to women. And he is even counting loan as income.
Okay.
These are very basic fallacies, fundamental errors. If you are providing loan, you are not adding to people's income. Anyway, so these are all things. So let us see. But the way now I find people complaining, a lot of people who had high hopes, they are getting disillusioned. And in this election, almost in many places we are meeting people, young people, teachers who invested so much hope, time, energy in Prashant Kishor. They are getting disillusioned, and many of them are coming to us.
Do you see BJP hand behind him as being alleged from some quarters, including
No, I mean,
your alliance?
Basically, after the list of candidates, a lot of people are saying that the candidates probably have been fielded in such a way so that they can cause some damage to India prospects.
Okay.
So maybe there is some such thing. I haven't taken that.
But then people say that he has also attacked the top leaders.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So basically, that is an interesting thing about Prashant Kishor because he understands politics. So initially, he was talking about some issues like migration, employment. Then just 2 months, since last 2 months, you will find that he is spearhead. He is against NDA government. So the whole anti-corruption narrative. Earlier it was against Lalu Yadav and Tejashwi Yadav. Then the spearhead was shifted against Ashok Chaudhary and Suraaj Chaudhary about the degree thing. So initially you were saying Tejashwi doesn't have a formal educational degree, and now he is after Suraaj Chaudhary.
Do you take him as the biggest influencer of this election? I am not calling it a factor. I am calling it biggest influencer of this election.
No, obviously, given his resource base and given his media presence. So definitely, whatever he says, there is a lot of buzz around it.
Okay.
But I won't call him the biggest influencer or any such thing. I think the father, my feeling is the father one is away from Bihar, the more one is kind of curious about Prashant Kishor.
Please repeat that.
The father one is away from Bihar, the more one is kind of interested about Prashant.
Okay.
So migrant workers, for example, if you talk to auto drivers in Delhi, they saw somebody like Arvind Kejriwal in Prashant Kishor. They thought that Prashant Kishor's party is something like an R. All the Guspet has taken place after 2019. Okay, fair enough, after 2019. But then you came up with a list of 65 lakh. Was there a single Guspet in that? None. But there were stories attributed to Election Commission sources that BLOs are finding any number of Bangladeshis and Myanmaris and all these people. Even now, 3.66 lakh additional exclusion after the draft SIR. Not a single case. But they keep talking about this. So Guspati is a figment of their imagination, that the idea is to polarize the people.
So would you make SIR an issue since your
But
party
SIR is definitely an issue.
Okay.
SIR is definitely an issue. 10% people have been disenfranchised. It's not
Okay, you see that 10%.
Obviously, I mean the Bihar electoral roll today should have been of the size of 8.25 crore.
Okay.
Given our Bihar's adult population. So instead of an 8.25 crore electoral roll, you have a 7.42 crore, right? So basically, more than 80 lakh voters, eligible voters, are missing from the electoral roll. That's 10%.
But 22 lakh of them were dead.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Bihar electoral roll given Bihar's population now.
Okay.
So if you are thinking in terms of universal coverage, and we think that
you are saying if the population is 13 crore, why it would be only 8.42? It should be more.
No, if you go by demography, then in Bihar today the adult population, that eligible adult population is eligible electors. So the eligible electoral population is 8.25 crore.
Okay.
And the actual electoral size
7.42.
7.42.
So there is a gap.
So the difference is 80 lakhs, which is 10%. So the Election Commission's own motto, no eligible voters should be left out. So for me, all 18 plus people in Bihar.
But they are saying they are permanently shifted people.
That's what I'm saying. But who are the permanently shifted people? They are migrant workers, mostly migrant workers. So this is 10% kind of exclusion. The other thing is, also look at the people whose names actually survived on the electoral roll. So had there been not a powerful struggle against SIR, more people were destined to lose their voting right. I can tell you at least on 3 occasions, we managed to push the Election Commission back. Number 1, their first circular said by 25th July, everybody would have to submit the enumeration form with photograph and document. And when there was Chakka Jam, Bihar said, no, it's not possible. So the Election Commission made the first retreat and said, okay,
you submit the data, submit the documents later.
Just enumeration form, we do in July. That was the first, going back by the Election Commission.
Okay.
Second, the Election Commission didn't want to share the full list of excluded people and the reasons for that exclusion. So it is the Supreme Court where we fought this battle. The Supreme Court had to intervene and the Supreme Court forced the Election Commission to share that data on 18th August. On 18th August, eventually Election Commission shared that data. And third, the Election Commission didn't want to accept Aadhaar as a standalone document. And it is the Supreme Court which forced the Election Commission to accept Aadhaar as a standalone document. So without these 3 adjustments, which obviously kind of retreat on the part of the Election Commission in the whole SIR exercise, had these 3 things not happened, then definitely we would have been looking at exclusion on the scale of some 2 crore, which was our apprehension. So I think SIR and the list that has come out, and now we'll also look at that. So this list which should have been, the idea was that I will produce an accurate list, but probably this list is more flawed than the previous list. All kinds of inaccuracies are there in this whole new electoral roll. So the electoral roll SIR exercise, the excuse given, the logic given behind the SIR, the Election Commission never talked about Ghuspaiti. Ghuspaiti is a political rhetoric by the BJP. The Election Commission never said this.
Yes.
Neither as a sort of logic for the launching the exercise, nor as the explanation for the final.
But they said there were some foreigners, but they didn't explain who
Yes.
were they.
So why are they mystifying this? Why
were
is
they referring to Nepali women married to Indian men?
I don't know. I mean,
Because we didn't get any Bangladeshi even from.
nothing. But you can find that disproportionate exclusion of women, disproportionate exclusion of Muslims, and disproportionate exclusion of migrant workers.
Women, Muslims, and migrants.
Migrant workers.
Okay.
And anytime, anywhere in India, if you undertake something like an invasive operation like an SIR, where you expect people to submit documents. So India is not just an underdeveloped country, it's also an underdocumented country. So people are underdeveloped means they are also underdocumented.
Last time 10 lakh jobs was almost the winning narrative, as you said, 0.3% difference. 37.26, 37.23, that was the difference. 12,000 odd votes. What would be your winning narrative this time? 2-3 things you would tell voters this time.
So one is of course again jobs.
Okay.
And I think this promise of change, because people are fed up with this crime, corruption and collapse.
You said cocktail.
Crime, corruption and complete collapse of governance. Collapse of governance. So here I think once again, it was the thing that Nitish Kumar was promising in 2005, development with justice and good governance. I think that is now the same agenda. We are still looking for that. Development with jobs. Development with jobs and good governance. So I think that is going to be the platform on which India, NDA has failed to deliver. The whole NDA project has unraveled. And it is on this plank. And of course, social justice, once again, I will say, 65% reservation that was passed unanimously in the assembly. All that the BJP government had to do was to pass it in the parliament and put it in the 9th schedule of the constitution so that it goes out of the judicial ambit of judicial review. And the people of Bihar, they are entitled to have 65% reservation. And if they are having to sort of do with 50% reservation, so that theft of 15% reservation. But Dalits it is like 4%. They are having 16% and they are entitled to 20%. So I think that 15% additional reservation, which Bihar is still looking for, that I think that will be, these are our main plans. Bihar is waiting for change.
Yeah.
So nothing is all covered till we have delivered change.